than it would have if they had done it for, the Green Bay Tribune, or if they'd been doing it for NPR. Netflix was very smart about it. They released it right at Christmas, when people had time and were at home and could actually binge watch a 10-hour show, because it kind of begs binge watching. And there's been a lot of hand-wringing about, well, these two women, they're not journalists. They didn't have an organization and rules to follow, and maybe that's why they got it wrong. You know what? And that's something to consider and be worried about. But the Netflix viewers who are watching this don't care. Just if you haven't seen it, just Google "making a murderer" and look at the number of results every day. There's now people on Reddit who are trying to solve the crime. And they actually found a major clue. Redditors found a major clue last week that 10 years of high-priced lawyers never saw. So it's kind of interesting. So I mean, that's one example. And then obviously Serial, the podcast, definitely kind of caught the cultural zeitgeist. It made podcasting, I think, more popular. Podcasting kind of got a boost from it. I figure it's big enough that they do an SNL sketch on it. It's mainstream. And again, it's a very different kind of show. It was deep. It went in. How many episodes was Serial, the first one? Like 20? Huh? 12. Still 12 episodes on this one case. So I think we're going to see a lot of different kinds of journalism and different kinds of storytelling that aren't necessarily tied to a major entity, but they can still get distribution. Before you could do it on your own, maybe not get distribution. Now Netflix buys it. Yeah.
Isn't it kind of biased? It's a little bit dangerous, isn't it? Because it leads you to what they want you to believe, but there's an alternate or an opposite on murder, making a murder. There's a completely opposite.
Absolutely. I'd say that's true of most documentaries. Most documentaries have a point of view.
Yeah. Well, now you can go and you can make that opposite one yourself. You don't
actually, somebody has started a podcast that is like multi-episode podcast that is just about debunking the documentary, right? Yeah. That part is not new. I mean, I think you could say that. I'd love to say that all news institutions are unbiased and tell the whole story. They aren't. And sometimes it's not because there's a bias. Sometimes it's, and this is why I think this is really interesting.